All right, so get this. We're diving deep into the Yellowstone saga today, and wow, your timing is impeccable.
Oh, yeah.
You sent us a Forbes article
Mm-hmm.
published December 15th, 2024.
Wow.
The catch. That's the same day as the season 5 finale.
Oh, wow.
Talk about getting intel hot off the presses.
Right.
So before we even touch on that finale cliffhanger, let's unpack what this article reveals about the show's future.
Yeah, what's really intriguing here is how this article throws a wrench into everything we thought we knew
Yeah.
about Yellowstone ending.
Right.
Remember how Paramount initially announced season 5 as the grand finale?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems things aren't so straightforward anymore.
Hold on, so you're saying there's more Yellowstone coming our way?
Well,
Any details?
let's break it down. The Forbes piece suggests that Yellowstone, as we know it, with Kevin Costner at the helm as John Dutton,
Right.
is indeed wrapping up.
Okay.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The article hints at a shift in strategy.
Okay, color me intrigued. What kind of shift are we talking about? Are they just going to rename the show and pretend nothing happened?
Not quite. This is where the Yellowstone universe gets a bit more complex.
Okay.
See, the original show is locked into an exclusive streaming deal with Peacock,
Uh-huh.
which is owned by NBC Universal.
Right, I remember hearing about that.
Nah.
Makes sense. Yellowstone is a huge hit, so everyone wants a piece of the action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that deal poses a problem for Paramount Global.
Okay.
They're essentially handing over a chunk of their potential streaming revenue to a competitor.
Ah, I see where this is going. They're launching a spin-off to keep the Yellowstone magic within their own streaming empire, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
This spin-off is like a strategic chess move in the streaming wars.
Ah.
And here's the kicker. Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser, who play Beth and Rip,
Yeah.
are already on board for the new series.
No way Beth and Rip getting their own show. That's
Yeah.
huge. No wonder everyone's buzzing about this.
It's a brilliant move by Paramount on several levels.
Yeah.
By creating a spin-off focused on these fan-favorite characters, they can bypass that pesky Peacock deal and keep the Yellowstone fan base within their own streaming ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
It also allows them to tap into the immense popularity of Beth and Rip,
Right.
potentially boosting their own platform Paramount Plus,
Uh-huh.
or even launching a brand new streaming service dedicated to the Yellowstone franchise.
Oh, okay, let's back up for a sec. You mentioned a streaming ecosystem.
Right.
For those of us who aren't Hollywood insiders, what does that actually mean?
Good point. It's easy to get lost in the jargon. Think of it this way. A streaming ecosystem is like a complex web-connecting production studios, like Paramount streaming platforms like Paramount Plus or Peacock,
Okay.
and ultimately us viewers. Each player in this ecosystem wants to control as much of the content and distribution as possible. That's where the power and the money lie.
So by launching a Beth and Rip spin-off, Paramount is essentially trying to tighten their grip on their own corner of the streaming world.
Exactly.
Makes sense. It's like building their own fortress to protect their most valuable asset.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And with the streaming wars heating up,
Mm-hmm.
this move could give them a significant edge.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not forget the creative side of things.
Right. What kind of stories can we expect from a Beth and Rip-centric show?
Yeah.
Will it be a prequel diving into their past,
Right.
or a sequel picking up where Yellowstone leaves off?
Well, details are still under wraps.
Okay.
All we know for sure is that Taylor Sheridan, the mastermind behind Yellowstone, is at the helm.
Yeah.
But that in itself is pretty exciting. Given his track record, we could expect something bold, gritty, and full of those complex characters and moral dilemmas he's known for.
And think about the potential for exploring Beth and Rip's relationship in more depth. They're arguably the most captivating couple on television right now.
Right.
The fiery chemistry, the unwavering loyalty, the shared darkness. There's so much to unpack there.
Absolutely.
Jackie?
And let's not forget the dramatic events that have been building up all season. We've got John Dutton facing his own mortality, Sarah Atwood's revenge plot spiraling out of control, and Jamie's ambitions threatening to tear the family apart.
Yeah.
These are high stakes.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of high stakes, that cliffhanger from the penultimate episode left us all gasping for air.
I know.
Hank hinting at a bold plan to protect the Dutton legacy. Beth on the warpath, ready to take down anyone who stands in her way.
Yeah.
It's almost as if Sheridan deliberately crafted those final moments to set the stage for both the Yellowstone finale and the spinoff.
That's a really astute observation.
Yeah.
The finale is going to be a game changer, no doubt.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how the events of tonight's episode impact Beth and Rip's trajectory and lay the groundwork for their spinoff.
Okay.
But before we dive into speculation, let's go back to the Forbes article for a moment.
You got it. We've covered the why, now let's dig into the how.
Okay. The Forbes article drops some intriguing hints about how this spin-off might actually work.
Okay.
For instance, it highlights that Paramount could leverage this new series to launch their own streaming platform entirely.
Whoa, hold on. Their own WN platform, as in ditching Paramount Plus and going all in on Yellowstone?
Yeah.
That's a bold move, even for a company like Paramount.
It certainly is. But think about it.
Okay.
A dedicated Yellowstone streaming service could be a goldmine. They could offer not only the original show and the Beth and Rip spinoff, but also a whole universe of related content.
Like what?
Behind-the-scenes documentaries, interviews, maybe even prequel series exploring different branches of the Dutton family tree.
So like a Yellowstone version of Disney. I can see it now. Yellowstone Plus, your one-stop shop for all things Dutton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it would give them a huge advantage in the streaming wars. Imagine being the exclusive home to one of the most popular and talked about shows on television. That's a powerful draw for subscribers.
Plus, they could control the pricing, the release schedule, the marketing. It'd be a whole new level of autonomy and potentially a lot more revenue.
Precisely. And it would allow them to cultivate a dedicated fan base, a community of passionate Yellowstone enthusiasts, eager to devour every bit of content they offer.
Wow.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right now, the spinoff is still in its early stages. No official release date, no confirmed cast beyond Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser.
Okay, but we can still speculate a bit, right?
Here.
What kind of storylines would you like to see explored in the spinoff?
Well, I'm particularly interested in the potential for delving deeper into Beth and Rip's past.
Okay.
We've seen glimpses of their backstories in Yellowstone,
Yay.
but there's so much more we don't know. How did they meet?
Yeah.
What shaped them into the complex, often ruthless individuals they are today?
I'm with you on that. I'm dying to know more about Beth's traumatic childhood, how she became the fierce, unapologetic force of nature she is now.
Right.
And Rip, his past is shrouded in mystery. Where did he come from? What events led him to the Yellowstone Ranch and into John Dutton's service?
Exactly. There's a whole treasure trove of untold stories there. And it'd be fascinating to see how those individual journeys intertwined, how they forged that unbreakable bond that defines their relationship.
Plus, imagine the visual possibilities. A prequel set in the 70s or 80s, capturing the grit and glamour of that era.
Oh, yeah.
The costumes, the music, the atmosphere. It could be a whole new aesthetic dimension for the Yellowstone universe.
I could already picture it, a young Beth, all rebellious energy and sharp wit clashing with the traditions of the ranch.
Right.
And Rip, a brooding, enigmatic figure finding his place in this rugged world.
And their romance. Seeing their love story unfold against the backdrop of the Yellowstone Ranch, all those stolen glances, those simmering tensions, it'd be pure television gold.
It would also give us a chance to understand the dynamics of the Dutton family in a different era. How did John Dutton consolidate his power? What were the rivalries and conflicts that shaped the ranch's legacy?
And how did Beth and Rip navigate those complexities? Were they always on the inside, or did they have to earn their place within the Dutton inner circle?
Those are all excellent questions.
Uh-huh.
A prequel could offer a fresh perspective on the events that led up to the Yellowstone we know and love. But on the flip side, a spin-off set after the events of the current season could be equally compelling.
Ooh, a sequel. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. So let's say Yellowstone ends with a major shakeup.
Right.
The ranch sold the Duttons, scattered the power structure, completely upended. Where do Beth and Rip go from there?
That's the million-dollar question. Do they stay in Montana trying to rebuild their lives amidst the ruins of their former world?
Yeah.
Or do they venture out seeking new challenges and opportunities beyond the familiar landscape of the Yellowstone?
Imagine them heading to Texas, building their own cattle empire.
Right.
Or maybe even going international, becoming players on the global stage. Beth negotiating deals in high heels, and a Stetson Rip staring down shady investors with that icy glare of his.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And it would allow the writers to explore themes of reinvention, resilience, and the enduring power of family.
Right.
Even if that family is a chosen one bound by loyalty rather than blood.
And we could see how their relationship evolves in a new environment, away from the pressures and constraints of the Yellowstone Ranch. Would they thrive? Would they clash? Would their bond withstand the challenges of a completely different world?
That's what makes this spin-off concept so exciting. It's a blank slate, a chance to explore these characters in new and unexpected ways.
Yeah.
And remember, Cole Hauser mentioned that there are no walls, no limits when it comes to Beth and Rip.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bold statement. And it suggests that the writers are willing to take risks, to push the boundaries of what we expect from a Yellowstone spinoff.
Maybe they'll even venture into different genres, a touch of noir, a dash of thriller, a sprinkle of political drama, who knows?
Yeah,
But regardless of the direction they choose, I have a feeling it's going to be a wild ride.
I completely agree. And speaking of a wild ride, I believe we've glossed over something rather important.
What's that?
The Yellowstone finale has aired. You've seen it, right?
Oh, right. The finale I almost forgot with all this juicy spin-off talk. And let me tell you, it was intense.
Intense. How, you've got to give us some details. Did it live up to the hype?
Let's just say Taylor Sheridan did not disappoint. There were twists, there were turns, there were moments that had me yelling at the screen. And that ending, man, that ending was a game changer. It definitely sets the stage for the spinoff in a way I never saw coming.
Okay, no spoilers for our listeners who haven't caught the finale yet. But can you at least tell us, does the finale give us any clues about the spinoff's direction? Does it hint at where Beth and Rip might end up or what challenges they might face?
I can't say too much without giving away the good stuff, but let's just say the finale throws a major wrench into their plans, and it leaves them in a very precarious position. It's almost as if Taylor Sheridan deliberately crafted that ending to launch them into a whole new chapter 1 where the rules of the game have completely changed.
Intriguing. That certainly aligns with what Cole Hauser said about no walls, no limits.
Right?
It seems like Beth and Rip are about to enter uncharted territory, and we're along for the ride.
Exactly. And you know what this means, right? We need to dedicate a whole section of this deep dive to unpacking that finale and dissecting all its implications for the spinoff.
Absolutely. But before we do that, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be right back with more Yellowstone analysis, including a deep dive into the finale and all the juicy fan theories circulating online.
All right, we're back and ready to tackle the Yellowstone Season 5 finale. No more beating around the bush. Let's dive into the specifics and how they might set the stage for the Beth and Rip spinoff. You mentioned a game-changer ending.
Yeah, the finale definitely threw some curveballs. For one, it subverted the typical power dynamics we've come to expect from Yellowstone.
Right.
Remember how the ranch itself has always been the ultimate prize, the symbol of the Duttons' legacy? Well, the finale challenges that notion.
Okay.
It suggests that true power might lie elsewhere, perhaps in the realm of politics or finance arenas, where Beth and Rip could truly thrive.
You're right. It's almost like the finale is intentionally pushing Beth and Rip beyond the confines of the ranch, forcing them to forge their own path in a world that's rapidly changing around them.
And let's not forget the emotional fallout from the finale.
Right.
There were some heartbreaking losses, some shocking betrayals.
Yeah.
It's clear that Beth and Rip are entering this new chapter carrying a heavy weight of grief and anger.
That's what makes them such compelling characters, though, right? They're not just tough-talking cowboys. They're deeply flawed, emotionally complex individuals who've been through the ringer. And that inner turmoil is what makes their story so captivating.
Absolutely. And I think the spinoff has a real opportunity to explore those deeper layers. We might see a more vulnerable side of Beth and Rip as they grapple with their past traumas and try to build a future amidst the chaos.
Okay, I've been holding back on this, but I have to share it. One of the wildest fan theories I've seen online is that the spinoff will take Beth and Rip completely out of Montana. Some folks are even speculating they might end up in, wait for it, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. That's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
It's certainly a far cry from the dusty plains of the Yellowstone Ranch. But think about the potential Beth and Rip navigating the glitz and grime of Sin City, maybe even getting tangled up with some shady casino moguls or high-roller criminals.
Right. It'd be like a modern-day Western with neon lights and slot machines instead of saloons and cattle drives.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Beth would absolutely own the Vegas scene.
She'd be a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say those casinos wouldn't want to mess with them.
Okay, but let's reel it back in for a second. Even if they don't end up in Vegas, the finale definitely hints at a major sheep in their world.
Right.
We see them making choices, taking risks, and stepping outside their comfort zones. It's clear they're not content with just maintaining the status quo.
Precisely. And that's what makes this spinoff so promising.
Yeah.
It's not just a rehash of Yellowstone. It's a chance for Beth and Rip to break free from the constraints of their past and forge their own destiny.
And who knows, maybe they'll even find a bit of redemption along the way. They've both done some pretty questionable things over the course of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Perhaps this new chapter will allow them to confront their demons and find a path towards healing.
That would be a fascinating arc to witness. Seeing them evolve, not just as individuals, but as a couple. Can their love survive the trials they've endured? Can they build something meaningful and lasting amidst the wreckage of their past?
Those are the kinds of questions that keep me hooked on a show. It's not just about the action and the drama. It's about the characters' inner journeys, their struggles, their triumphs. And I have a feeling Taylor Sheridan is going to deliver on that front.
I agree. He has a knack for creating characters that feel both larger than life and deeply human. And with Beth and Rip at the helm, I'm confident this spinoff will be just as gripping, thought-provoking, and emotionally resonant as Yellowstone.
Well, there you have it, folks. We've explored the ins and outs of this Yellowstone spinoff, from the business motivations to the creative possibilities. And after that explosive finale, I think it's safe to say we're all on the edge of our seats, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in the Beth and Rip saga. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think Beth and Rip are headed to Vegas? Or will they carve out a new path somewhere else entirely? Let us know.
And remember, no matter where they end up, one thing's for sure.
What's that?
It's going to be a wild ride. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
And as always, happy watching